Worst rating week in 22 years.
Worst rating, CNN?
Going all the way back to 2000, fewer people have never watched CNN in the past 22 years.
And they brought it all on themselves. Oh, CNN suffers new ratings low. America, ooh.
Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Friends, the daily news headlines prove one thing, that the world is a fragile place now. And that means it's time to prepare for more instability. Let me ask you, do you have enough emergency food on hand to get through severe shortages? Most people don't. And that is why I recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. Act quickly and you will save $150 off of their vital 3-month emergency food kit, which contains a variety of delicious meals designed to give you over 2,000 calories a day. You get breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks 3 solid months worth per person. And this is something every American family will soon wish they had ordered. These kits are in stock and ship fast. Your order will arrive quickly in unmarked boxes for your privacy. And all you gotta do is go to preparewithkevinscorner.com and save $150 on each 3-month food kit you need. But do it now. That is preparewithkevinscorner.com. Don't be a victim. Survive what's coming by going to preparewithkevinscorner.com. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video.
I think I might have just found a champion for the Republican Party. That's right. What's going on, America? Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And if you watched my live show a couple nights ago, I dedicated a whole show to this new up and rising, I believe, champion for the Republican Party. Yeah, her name is Kari Lake, and she's running for the governor of Arizona. Now, you know, if I dedicate a whole live show to somebody, they better have the juice. Man, you ain't gonna have me out there looking stupid, running around telling folks, man, I'm telling you, dude, she dope. Man, she got in there and she was slaying all kind of Democrats and fake news people, and then you hear her and you're like, man, that chick's garbage. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that's over exaggerating, telling you how sweet something is or how hot this person is and all of that stuff, like your friend back in the day. Man, I'm about to hook you up with this girl. You're like, how she look? She cold, man. And you see her and she looks like a booger, and you gonna see, there you go, you always exaggerating. So I think that I need to go ahead and let y'all see her as a standalone clip, you know, outside of my live stream, because, you know, some people can't watch the whole live stream. So I created a little standalone highlight film. So this way, when you see her, you can determine if you think she's going to be a new champion for the Republican Party. That's right. Just like the movie Achilles, when they was like, good guy, yes. And that big dude came out, you know, the big for nothing dude. And when Achilles came out, the real champ, he stuck it to that dude and looked at the rest of them and was like, is there anybody else? And they was all looking around like, he ain't talking to me. I mean, I don't know who he talking. He talking to you? Because he ain't talking to me. I mean, if he was, I'd go out there, but you know he ain't talking to me. Yeah, that is what she's about to do to these funky, stinking, disgusting, dirty liberal media. And after you watch this highlight reel, you tell me if you think she's going to be a champion in the Republican Party. Let's get it.
Did you see this online? It went mega viral. That is Kari Lake. Right now, she's running for governor of Arizona. She's a Republican, former newscaster. And boy, did she own that reporter who tried one of their little fake news tricks. It was amazing. We'll play a portion of it in a moment. But first, Kari Lake, welcome back to Newsmax. How are you? Well, look, that was a terrific moment. It was pretty wild, and you totally owned her. Did you? First question, whoever shot it, they must have been from your campaign. They shot it beautifully. Did you anticipate that, you know, they were going to try to undermine you in some way?
Well, you know, because I worked in the media for 30 years, 27 years covering Arizona, I know how they operate. I know all the tricks. And so I don't go into any interview without having it shot by a camera that I'm in control of and with the audio recorded, because they will play tricks. They'll cut it and snip it and make it look like you said this when you actually said that. And so I knew right away they're not going to run the important parts, the part where I'm talking about the issues Arizonans are facing. They're going to try to hit me with a gotcha. And they probably won't even put my answer out to their gotcha question.
Well, wow, it totally worked. You know them, they tried it, they failed, and you had all the evidence, all the receipts. We're going to play a portion of it.
Do you think Joe Biden is the current president?
Well, he's obviously sitting in the White House. Do you think he's the president?
Oh.
I'm asking you, but I'm just wondering, do you think that if the 2020 election was stolen, is Joe Biden the president?
Do you think the election was stolen? Do you think that Joe Biden garnered 81 million votes? Do you think the elections were fair? The problem is that the American people don't have all the answers because the media is part of the problem.
Just answer me this one question.
Thank you.
One more question, Kari.
Well, no, I've already told you we're done. Thank you so much.
Well,
I'll hear that fake sounding Dr. Gorka dude from Australia. You know, just answer this one question for us, Kari, would you please? Now, see, this dude's about to get himself knocked the complete out. Okay, messing with this woman while she's packing up trying to bounce. And here he is, won't leave well enough alone. So let's watch this beat down, all right? Achilles, let's see what she does to this fake Gorka.
so when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
I gave you 15 minutes. We promised you 15 minutes, sir. I'm sorry that you asked the same question 3 times and wasted your time with
Well,
the
I'm
same
sorry.
question.
I'm sorry you couldn't bring yourself to actually see the world in a different light.
Well, are you a journalist or unbiased journalist or not?
But
Why are you trying to tell me how I should see the world? You're a
no,
journalist.
you don't get any.
You're
you
a
don't get any more
journalist.
questions to me. You've cut me off. You don't get any
Well,
questions
you're a
to me.
journalist, sir. You should be unbiased. You shouldn't be telling me how to see the world.
Oh, really?
Why are you trying to tell me as a
really?
journalist how to see the world? I don't understand that. It's not a journalist's job to tell me how to see the world. It's a journalist's job to ask questions that are not biased, and I didn't get that from
And
you.
why? This is
Thank
the
you
way
so
Trump
much.
people. This is the way Trump people do it. Yeah. This is what happens. You have one narrative, and that's it. You can't
No.
think out of the box.
Sir, I believe you have that narrative. I believe you have that narrative.
You're walking away, Kari.
I'm
It's the
not
same old story.
I'm not walking away. I promised you 15 minutes.
No,
Here.
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you're telling fibs again. You see, you won't, unless the narrative fits your description of the voter fraud and all that sort of thing, then you're offended. You somehow can't handle the truth.
I'm not offended. I want the truth. You offend me not. You can sit in Australia without your rights, but we have rights here, okay?
Well, you can make all the xenophobic comments you want.
What?
You can try and put the labels
You're,
on us.
This is actually,
but
sir,
you
this is
cannot,
actually
you
hilarious.
cannot look at the truth.
Time to go. Yeah, it is time
I mean,
to
it's
go.
the same story so all the courts are corrupt, the officials are corrupt, the institutions
Now
are
you
corrupt,
gotta
but
bring
you're
Lord.
okay. You're telling the
Liam,
truth.
this is actually funny. This is
comical.
almost satire the way you're approaching this. And I hope the people of Australia are waking up to the media. This is a perfect example of the insanity of the media.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
It's just crazy. You're calling
It's the
people
media.
names.
It's the media. It's this sort of amorphous mass that
Are you
somehow comes up
actually?
with this narrative.
I don't live in Australia. Are you actually a respectable journalist there, or are you kind of considered a joke?
Get out of
Seriously,
here.
I hope this gets.
Incredible.
I hope this gets
That's
put in
the
the
Donald
piece.
Trump way, isn't it? It's fake news. All of a sudden, it's fake news.
Hey,
if you have a different
Liam,
narrative, it's fake news.
Liam, sir, I worked in the
See,
news
he
for
did it.
30 years. I get how
See,
it works.
he brought you to the music
It's hit
chamber.
rock bottom and it keeps going lower. I don't know if
He
you
ain't
have
listening to
viewers
the
who still
theme
watch, but here in America, people are tuning out the corporate media.
Really?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
really?
They really are.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you
And
that.
they-
Days are numbered,
right,
buddy.
but-
If you want to keep pushing propaganda, your days are numbered. And I
We're
don't know.
pushing propaganda.
Oh
That's
my
rich.
gosh! If you can't see it, sir, then you're even more brainwashed than you could imagine.
Here you go,
and
Liam.
I feel for the people of Australia. They're being abused by their leaders. They have no rights, and their media is continuing to try to brainwash them. You were probably one of the guys pushing the fear with COVID, so that people would stay in their homes and wouldn't go out, and that the children would be masked. You were probably one of the guys pushing that fear on your TV station. And I'll tell you what, the masking of children and the torture of the people are never going to forgive you
Never.
for that, and they're never going to forget. So I suppose you're the kind of guy that masks your children, right?
Well, I suppose you're the sort of woman who also believes the moon landing.
I have to yell at you guys.
Linda, listen, Linda. Listen.
Okay, what?
Like everything they do at this house, you can't trust everything at Grandma's house.
Okay,
Okay, then what?
then you're not listening to me.
Then you're not listening to me.
That's exactly how that dude just sounded. How is he going to revert to just being like a kid? well, you know what, you're a poopy head. You know what, I'm saying you ain't got a better comeback than that. Then something about the moon landing. You didn't address the question. You dodged that question she asked. Yeah, you're probably one of the biggest perpetrators of fear mongering. And you probably was dumb enough to throw that mask on your own kids and have them walking around barely able to breathe and so on and so forth. And that dude didn't want to answer that. His only response once he realized he got in there with a real champion is, oh, well, yeah, you know what? You're probably someone who believes the moon landing. That ain't no real comeback. That shows you're losing the fight. That shows me that you have lost your form and technique. You're getting your butt beat by this new champ in the Republican Party, and your only comeback is the moon landing. That's not good enough. You sound worse than that kid arguing with his mother. You went back to that third grade argument, that kindergarten argument, something like that. Now, but you know what? You're stupid, and you can't beat me fighting. Come on, Lim, you're better than that. Or are you? Let's finish seeing him get his butt beat, and I'm enjoying it the whole way.
It was a conspiracy. I mean, how many institutions do you want to tear down in this?
Oh my goodness! So are you masking your children? Is that your way of not answering? Yes. Are you masking your children, your beautiful children's faces?
See, this is what Donald Trump does, doesn't he? This is what Donald Trump does, straight out of his playbook.
Liam,
he attacks the personal.
Liam,
you attack the personal if you don't like the real truth.
Liam, it was a pleasure meeting you. This has just become comical. I'm leaving. Actually, thank you for giving me a good laugh, because you actually make some of the crazy reporters and people at CNN look almost respectable. So thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. That guy's a complete nut.
That guy is a complete nut. That's right, man. He is a big walnut. He's a coconut. That's how big of a nut that dude is. And so, you've seen her handiwork just in those first couple clips, but it gets worse. See, now she's about to step up to the next level and take on the kings of fake news, which is CNN. And then after she gets done with them, you tell me if you think she's ready to be a champion in the Republican Party. Let's get into this.
No masks in here?
Another round of applause. Of course,
I applaud that.
The media's all masked up because
stupid media.
They want to spread the fear.
This is our introduction to Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, a Donald Trump-endorsed Republican candidate for 2022.
Good.
Rising star of the right wing. And proud spreader of lies about the 2020 election results.
I hope that CNN become born again as a good media.
Pray for him, Kaiva.
But Lake has gained early attention, a presumed frontrunner in Arizona.
I'm Kari Lake with a look at the top stories.
A longtime former Phoenix television anchor who quit her job.
Oh, God, so here we go.
Lake has built-in name ID and a dedicated following, like the students who insisted on gathering around her.
You have a crowd. Hi, everyone.
As she agreed to speak with CNN. A cornerstone of Lake's campaign, baseless fraud claims raised by the Republican-led sham review of Maricopa County's 2020 presidential election.
The system is corrupt. Have you not followed what's happening in our election here? Absolutely. I covered the audit.
Relentlessly repeating misinformation.
Do you think that it was the right thing to do to delete a bunch of million files the day before the audit?
That was roundly debunked.
No.
Not by the press, but by the Maricopa County Reporter's Office.
Well, you're buying into everything they say. These are the same people who did not want this forensic audit. I know what you guys are trying to do. You don't give a damn about our elections. You've got a narrative, and you're trying to push it.
Once on the fringe, conspiracy theorists and election deniers are now leading candidates, fighting to bring their beliefs and their base into the halls of power.
Yeah.
This time, not by force, but by votes.
I mean, first of all, she was allegedly an anchor or newscaster or something.
Come on, Anderson Cooper.
I don't know what.
Allegedly, newscaster or something.
Wrap my mind around that. This is super depressing. I mean, I don't know if she believes that or if she knows this will get her that bunch, help her in the primary, and she's willing to be a shiny, happy liar.
Now, did y'all see the hit piece that CNN tried to throw out there? Y'all see them paint their whole narrative with the voice over by the lady who interviewed her, and a spreader of conspiracy theories and fake news and lies and propaganda. Yeah, she sounded real tough. She sounded like she got out there and gave Kari the business. And I bet you if you only watch that clip, you would think that how can Kari be a champion for the Republican Party if she ain't out there handling the news like the boss himself, Donald Trump. And some others, you know, we got DeSantis down there. He's a champ. You know, I mean, it's tough to become a full-blown champion in the Republican Party. But we got some out there. Marjorie Taylor Greene, my man from Florida, Matt Gaetz, my man from Ohio, Jim Jordan, people like that. They're all champs. But I want to see if she got what it takes to be a real champ in the Republican Party. So let's see how she handles CNN. First thing I like about this is she knows how they fight. See, she's been studying them. She come from that industry, so she knows what type of techniques they use. And let's go ahead and hear her give an explanation of how she's going to deal with them and why she's able to be a good champion in the Republican Party. Here we go.
Did you anticipate that, you know, they were going to try to undermine you in some way?
I know how they operate. I know all the tricks. And so I don't go into any interview without having it shot by a camera that I'm in control of and with the audio recorded, because they will play tricks. They'll cut it and snip it and make it look like you said this when you actually said that. They want to make us look like we're conspiracy theorists. And the fact of the matter is, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, and the mainstream media are the conspiracy theorists. And we've seen that proven time and time again for years, and especially during COVID. Everything they said was true has proved to be wrong. Everything the so-called conspiracy theorists have said has proved to be true.
Yeah. I mean, ain't that the truth? If the shoe fits, wear big old CNN suck sign in the back. Uh-oh, real interview. So wait, this is the uncut version, because see, just a minute ago, I thought that Chinese lady just fed it to Kari. I was ready to give up. I mean, I was ready to take it back and be like, I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't have went out there and pumped her up like that. So good thing that she's smart enough to have recorded it on her own camera so we can see how she handled the interview versus how fake, funky CNN claims she handled it. Here we go.
I mean, how are you feeling about your campaign right now?
I feel great. I mean, I got into this because I'm a mom who is fed up.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with what's happening in this world. And I'm a former journalist. I'm fed up with what's happening in journalism as well. But I'm worried about my children and my future grandchildren if we don't start to turn Arizona back to the way it's supposed to be, which is getting our freedoms back. The Arizona we love, keep these opportunities for our children, get our freedoms back, and end some of this nonsense. The masking of our children, the vaccine mandates. We've got moms and dads out there going into Christmas looking at losing their jobs because their boss or some corporate goon is telling them, you get a vaccine or you get out.
One of the things that you've been talking about quite a bit and tweeting about is the election. You know, you've said that you think Trump won Arizona in 2020. Do you still believe that?
I believe Biden is the president just like OJ is innocent. The system is corrupt. Have you not followed what's happening in our election here?
Absolutely, I covered the audit.
34,000 votes counted twice. Canvassers went to a dirt lot where 75 people were registered to vote.
That's a Liz Harris report that was debunked.
Well, you say it was debunked because everything that you guys don't agree with, you debunk. You fact check. And I know where your fact checkers come from. A lot of times the fact checkers...
There are addresses at that dirt lot you're talking about.
No.
So what I want to know is, where's the proof that you're going to point to?
If you don't have the ability to critically sit down and listen to our forensic audit results, then I can't help you.
Like
you guys went into that
lost by even more.
If you count fraudulent votes. We've got a problem with our election. They're pouring in mail-in ballots. Trump was winning big in Pima County. And when they realize that, they start pouring in more ballots, more mail-in ballots. We have a problem. We've got election, we have mail-in ballots coming in with no signatures. Our system is broken. I don't care, let me tell you, if Trump won the way that Biden did, I would have a problem with it. We just need to prove it. We need to prove that this election was won fair and square. And we're seeing all kinds of problems.
Now, guys, I mean, the way I see this right now don't look like CNN presented it. I mean, they made it seem like Kari was out there crazy and she's full of conspiracy theories and all that stuff. And it looks to me like she is handling her business in this interview. Looks to me like that CNN reporter is sitting back taking their cues from her. It looks to me like the real champion is controlling the narrative right there. And so, yes, it's great when you go back into the fake news studio and you put together the voiceovers and the commentary and all that stuff, and you edit it and clip it all up and make it seem like you won the fight. Coming out there, you know, with the voiceover like, yes, and a conspiracy theorist, a pusher of propaganda and fake news. Don't sound like she's too tough right now. When Kari's in her grill with that finger and telling her, it's not your time to talk. Okay, CNN, right now, she's winning me over. Right now, I'm like, Kari, I want to finish watching her do what she does best, and that is destroy these folks. And I also like what she's talking about, man. She's bringing up stuff that, to me, I'm saying, wow, CNN fake news commentator, you didn't look into all that? You said you covered it. Why didn't you look into all the stuff that she's referencing? You think that all was legit? Or could it be you didn't want to get to the truth? Just like that laptop was wide open for anybody to come look at it, and not one of the fake news people came to look at it for themselves. Instead, they let outside sources come in and just say, it was Russians and it was Russia collusion and it was conspiracy with Russia, and y'all just took it. It's been debunked by a whole bunch of folks that's in cahoots with the Democrat Party, coming out talking about we're in the intel community. We didn't look at it. We didn't actually evaluate it. We're no longer in the administration, but it does look like it could be possibly Russian disinformation. And they went out there and said it was debunked. And Kari here knows their evil, disgusting tactics, and that's why she's able to handle them. I'm liking what I see, y'all.
And the mail-in ballots were sent out. We had our election officials who were rewriting election rules, usurping the legislature. The legislature in Arizona writes our election laws, not the people working at the county recorder's office. And we don't care what the media says. The media is full of it, and we know it. I know it. I worked in the media, I worked in the media. I know what you guys are trying to do. You don't give a damn about our elections. You've got a narrative, and you're trying to push it.
And what is
and we want the narrative is everything. It's frauded. It's fake. People witnessed things during this election, and they knew it was wrong. And all they want is to make sure that our vote is fair, that it's fair and square. But I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because I know you're going to twist it around. I know how these things work, and I know what the final product is. And I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. If you would like to look through the forensic audit report, I'm happy to share that with you. And there's more information to come out. We haven't yet gotten the analysis of the paper ballots and of the routers. But do you think that it was the right thing to do to delete a bunch of million files the day before the audit?
Good question. That was roundly debunked.
No.
Not by the press, but by the Maricopa County Recorder's Office.
Well, you're buying into everything they say. These are the same people who did not want this forensic audit. These are the same people who did not want it. And so there's a lot of people, Democrat, Republican, that may have had some issues with this election. They may have been involved in some of the shady dealings. This was a shady, shoddy, corrupt election. And everyone knows it. The left knows it, the right knows it, but the left is trying to make us live with this, and we're not going to live with it. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Just like this. That's what took place right there. That's what we watched.
And while we may not be able to do a whole lot about this, I will be damned if when I'm governor, we're going to have another election run this way.
Fight her.
Oh!
It's wrong. We want one vote per legal voter, and we want it counted.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a bunch of mail-in ballots floating around, sitting on top of mailboxes for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to sign and send in.
One punch. That is it.
It's over.
Forget about the count. It is over.
It's bullcrap, and we want our country back, and we want our election back. I think everyone should vote. And I really hope and pray, and we've got some really great lawmakers here who did the right thing. They stood up to people like CNN and MSNBC and the corrupt media, and trust me, it is corrupt as hell. They stood up against you guys, and they stood up against the newspapers, and they said, we are going to get to the bottom of this. We will do a forensic audit of Arizona's election. Our constituents are demanding it. And they stood up to the peanut gallery yelling at them.
And I hope she knows she's a part of that peanut gallery. I hope that she understands that Kari is implying that she is a part of the peanut gallery. Notice the command that she has. She's not toying around with these people. She's not up there trying to appease them and tiptoe around it. She knows they're coming in for the kill. She's letting her know, I'm not even going to get into this big thing with you because I already know what your agenda is. You're not trying to get to the bottom of this. You're not trying to find truth. She's dealing with the Democrats the way you need to deal with them, and the liberal media. You know they're not going to change. Even if they appear to be smiling at you, if they're a wolf, those aren't smiles. Those are growls. And so she knows that. when they come out here trying to be all sweet, you know what, can we do an interview then? Start off and all kind and nice, and then switch. You'll hear your theme music switch. It's like in the movies. I'm sitting there like, dude, you didn't hear the theme music switch? You're not reading the social cue. You're not hearing that yeah, man. Just because Jason seems to be standing off in the distance, all still and quiet, don't just stand there. Don't be like, well, maybe he's changed his wicked ways. No, you don't see that machete in his hand. You got to bounce or either deal with him and make sure you cut the head off of that dude. Don't be talking about I'm going to knock him out and then walk away like, whew. No, the media, when it comes down to how they attack conservatives, they are aggressive. They never change their tactics. They never change their motives. They're not going to bring you on their shows to be fair and balanced. They're not going to ask you non-biased questions. It is always gotcha. So if you're not willing to go in there and do exactly what she did, record what's going on, make sure you got alternative footage so when they cut and clip and edit and all that stuff, you can show the real deal. That's what you got to do. And treat them like they need to be treated. Meaning, I'm not here really to negotiate you. I'm here to get in this ring and destroy you, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're not sitting back trying to find the truth. Like this J6 committee. You think they really want to get to the bottom of it? Please. Just like the Democrats telling us all we want is sensible gun control so we can protect the kids. Do you think that's what they want to do? Why would you even sit down at the table with them and you know their end game? You know what they're about. You know their nature. You've heard them constantly talk about we got to get guns off the streets and all of this stuff. You heard it. So why would you fall for it? Why would you go in and think they're going to negotiate in good faith? And that is how she's dealing with this agent that's been sit in to try to assassinate her before she breaks forth. Because let's be honest, she got the juice. She's a champ. And they know it. And that's why they brought out Anderson Pooper. They brought out the big guns to try to go ahead and chop her knees out from under her before she get up and walking. And man, is she stomping all over him. Okay, let's finish watching this beatdown. Champion, champion, champion.
And did the right thing. So I do believe that in the next legislative session, they'll enact and bring forth some new, stronger laws to protect our integrity of our vote, because we want to know. I want to know my vote count.
Yeah.
I want your vote to count. And Republicans, Trump supporters, would be appalled if Trump won the way that Biden won. Well, I think what I said there was I believe that our lawmakers are going to, in this next session, hopefully shore up our elections a bit more and hopefully bring some more change. And I think when we get some more information that comes out, and there may be criminal charges filed. We have an attorney general who's investigating right now.
Oh, I forgot to ask, should Katie Hobbs go to jail?
I believe that Katie Hobbs was malpractice the way she handled her job. We have voter rolls. We have voter rolls that are a complete mess. It's her job to clean those up. Got dead people voting. It's ridiculous.
You still think she should go to prison?
Now, guys, one thing I love about this new champion, she does not shy away from controversial topics or topics that the left would definitely try to take and make it sound like she's crazy, unhinged, off the rocker, tinfoil hat wearing, and all of that. She is able, as you see the whole clip, she's able to vocalize her position rationally and fairly, saying, look, man, we're not just pulling this out of our butt. We ain't just making this stuff up like the Democrats. Just up there, I was an election. It wasn't fair just because Donald Trump is mean and he's a white nationalist and stuff. She went over all kind of discrepancies, and this woman just tried to ignore that and say it was debunked. And then she gets up here and brings up some obvious issues. Okay, when I see Republicans get out there and they won't call out other what appears to be corrupt politicians and say, yes, if they are found to be guilty, if an investigation shows that they're guilty, they should be punished. We're not going to let you guys say, listen to them out there trying to demonize their opponents and punish and jail their opponents, as if the Democrats don't do that with no predicate at all. They don't mind going after innocent Republicans that had nothing to do with their whole narrative, but they want to send a message. And the Republicans better get tough. She's tough. She is able to say, yep, this woman's job was to clean up the voter roll. Why is it that only Democrat ghosts are voting? Where are all those Republican ghosts? Huh? All of these dead folks is rising up out those Democrat graves and somehow voting. And yet we ain't got no Republican grave ghost voting. Shouldn't that tell you something? Who's doing all of the suspect behavior? I mean, why aren't Republicans riding around dropping stuff at mailboxes in the middle of the night? Why aren't Republicans spending the night in booths swiping stuff after we randomly just shut down a couple voter locations? Why are we doing that? Why are we nailing up boards and stuff so people can't observe us counting. Why aren't we doing that? See, these are things that are legitimate concerns, while this woman, her whole job is to come out there and throw it out there as if you question all these very questionable behaviors, then you're undermining our democracy. You're pushing lies and you like it. And now she is going to have to learn to like this beating she's about to get.
I think she should. I think if we find out there was fraud and that we should prosecute her and she should go to prison, yeah. But here's the problem. We all know that the Democrats never go to prison.
Oh,
thank you.
She knows them well.
Yep. We have a grassroots campaign right now, and you don't ask me about that. Is Katie Hobbs going to go to prison? It's like, this is what's wrong with the media. You guys are pushing a narrative. You know that Joe Biden didn't win by 81 million votes.
I do know he won.
By 81 million votes. You really need to put down the crack pipe. Hunter's crack pipe.
Big knockout.
You really believe Joe Biden won by 81 million votes?
There is no proof behind most of the stuff you tweeted about the election.
Handle it.
Yes, there is. You're just not. You're not opening your eyes because it's a fraud. It's not an audit.
I can't hear.
Everything. I can't understand you with that mask on. If you want to have a conversation without the mask on, I'm happy to. But I seriously can't hear.
Killed her, y'all. But wait a minute, man. After that interview, then this same person, she caught, Kari on her way to some event. And I guess she wanted to make amends maybe and run it back and hopefully have a very non-biased interview and a fair one. And, who knows? She might have changed her wicked ways, right? I mean, just like a snake, right? I mean, snakes oftentimes change their wicked ways, right? I mean, they're so cute and cuddly and stuff, and you help them out and you pet them and bring them home and feed them mice and stuff. And then you just say to yourself, I know you're a snake, but surely after all I've done for you, you would never strangle me here. You would never bite me on my neck, would you? Yeah, just like that. So she comes up to Kari and she's asking her for round 2 after she got her butt spanked during round 1. And I think Kari's about to do what I was just talking about. Don't even sit down with these people. Don't even legitimize them because we all know their motive. And this right here should have ruined this lady's career. This is one of those knockouts, y'all. As you watch our champion close this video out, that is a career-ending knockout. You ever seen a boxer who was sweet for so long, never really got knocked the heck out? Like Ronda Rousey, after that knockout, she was done. Like Roy Jones, after that knockout, he couldn't pull it back together. Mike Tyson, one good knockout messes you up. And this knockout should ruin this lady's career. Oh, and I'm glad I'm alive to see it.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you.
You don't have a mask on anymore. What's going
We're
on?
outside. Do you have a minute to
Well, we're
chat?
6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus. Does that still exist? I didn't think so because the people don't like what you guys are peddling.
So,
which is propaganda. Thank you. Propaganda. Thank you.
She's so mad. She dropped a bomb on her. What, baby? Yeah, she dropped a bomb on her. That's how you need to drop the bomb. That's how a champion should get in that ring, okay? That's how you handle the fake news. Don't entertain them. Don't legitimize them. Don't appease them. Don't kowtow from them. She disrespected this woman, and that woman deserved every bit of that disrespect. That was beautifully executed, and she deserves to be a champ in the Republican Party. I hope she goes all the way, man. I hope she wins, and she turns that state around. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, something ain't right. And we need more champions just like her. That's why I had to do a standalone video for her, for all of those that might want to see her handiwork. And then you could come to the conclusion if you think she'll make a great champion for the Republican Party. I'm sick of rhinos. I'm sick of dudes getting in there trying to pretend they're champion and they just in there going round and round and hugging and negotiating in the ring with the enemy. Talking about, all right, look, man, let's just hug each other, pretend like we go throwing each other some punches, a couple rabbit, punches from low, I'm saying, and then we go ahead and get through this and make it look like we gave a good showing. No, I don't want that. I want a knockout. I want champions in our party just going to go in that ring every time with the intentions of knocking the heck out of the Democrat Party and the fake news. And she did just that. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button, you share my videos, and you subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure that your notifications are turned on to all, because YouTube is playing games. Yep. And make sure that they didn't unsubscribe you, okay? And follow my podcast too. The links are below this video. Those that have been donating to my channel, I appreciate it. If you would like to donate to Kevin's Corner to offset the censorship that's going on, I would appreciate that too. I got my Cash App and my PayPal below. Okay. Other than that, y'all, I'm going to sit back and marinate in that beatdown I just watched. I'm going to savor it like a fine wine. You don't want to drink that too quickly, okay? You're not able to savor. You got to sip on that one right there. Yeah. So make sure you send that to some folks so that they can sip on it too. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.
God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.